Hi, this is Shannon with We Are Makers, and I'm excited to be here today to show you our newest tool, the Oval Crop A Dile. I wanted to show you some tips and tricks and what makes it the same and different from our other Crop A Dile punches and eyelet setters. I love this tool. It's so unique. The shape of the eyelet is beautiful, and I can't wait to show you. This is the Oval Crop A Dile. You'll notice it's very similar to our original Crop A Dile, other than it just has one punching mechanism. The original Crop A Dile has one on each side and they vary in size. Since this is a consistent one size eyelet that fits this shape for the oval shaped eyelet setter, we just have the one punch on the one side. So you have the punch on the side, you slide it into there just like you do on a normal Crop A Dile, and then you have the eyelet setting mechanism right there. So this is the top of your eyelet, and if you ever forget, it's just right there engraved on the side of the tool. The little eyelet, you can see that the top is facing this way, so it's the side that has the punch on it, and it also has this little blue button inside that cushions your eyelet as it is being set. There is a QR code on this tool, so if you lose your instructions, you have any question, you want some project inspiration, just scan this QR code and it'll take you to a landing page that's all things Oval Crop A Dile. This is a new feature we're adding to all of our tools to help educate and inspire you. So we hope that you will use that feature. All right, let me show you some of the things. It just works the same way as a regular Crop A Dile. The handle makes both mechanisms work. So whether you are punching the hole for your eyelet or just a hole that you want to use that's oval shaped, or setting an eyelet, you'll see when I squeeze, everything happens at once. So you've got this part that will set your eyelet shutting, as well as you can see the little punch coming up in this part to punch the hole. You can also see it from this angle. That's the shape of the eyelet. The Oval Crop A Dile comes with this little cute organizing box that has gold eyelets in it. And these eyelets are the type that also come with little washers. So if you've never used an eyelet and washer combo, you are going to love these, and I'll show you how to set them. So you have the large one that has the deeper groove on the bottom. That is the eyelet itself. And then the little washer is pretty flat that coordinates with it. And this just gives you a nicer, prettier finish on the back of your eyelet. So if you were doing something that was going to be exposed, like a tag or something like that, or a closure on a mini album, then you would want to definitely use your little washer just so it looks beautiful and perfect on the back every time. There are other options of colors. Right now they are all metallics. So you can buy refill packs. They're a little bit bigger boxes, and there are brass. These remind me more of like an antiqued bronze color more than brass, because brass I always think orange. And so these are actually like an antique gold. That's more like what I would call this refill, even though it is called brass when you do look it up online or on americancrafts.com. These also have the washers. Then you have silver refill pack, plain silver, and they also have the washers. And then there is the larger pack of gold oval eyelets. So here's the size difference. So this is the one that comes with the tool, and this is the refill pack. The box that is included with the tool when you purchase the tool the first time has 25 eyelets with coordinating washers. The refill packs have 50 eyelets and 50 coordinating washers. So that's the difference. You get twice as many in the refill packs. So there's all three colors of eyelets available now. We hope to get more colors in the future. I want to show you the difference in size compared to a traditional 3/16 round eyelet. So this is the oval. It's got a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch oval opening, and then that's a 3/16 gold eyelet, a round one. So that's how you can kind of compare the size of how big these are. Just like our other Crop A Dile tools, this tool is heavy duty, so it can punch through a wide variety of materials. I brought a few here to show you. So this is 2mm chipboard, and it punches through so easily. You can see that I barely had to squeeze that. Some other examples are leather, So that's a pretty thick leather, punched right through. That would make a really cute bookmark on leather. This one I've punched a couple of times already, but this one's just cardstock. You could even do multiple sheets of cardstock. This is bonded felt. And this is a pretty heavyweight acetate plastic sheet. This will also cut through tin. Anything that your original crocodiles or the big bite crocodile will punch through, or our corner chompers, this has got that same powerful punch. So it can punch through a wide variety of materials. Let's set an eyelet in one of those samples just to show you how to do it. So this is I have 4 corners I've now punched, but I'm going to just do a test to show you how to do it. So as you'll see, when I put this paper into the oval crocodile, it goes in about 1/2 inch. That's as deep as you can get it into the edge. So for example, on this wedding invitation, I wanted ribbon to attach in the oval eyelets to hold this piece of vellum over the printed invitation. And you'll see that's about how far, that's the max I could get it in to the side on the punch. So it's about 1/2 inch, or I could have gone down from the top. But because I wanted my ribbon to run horizontal through these oval slits, you can see how beautifully that ribbon fits through there. That's a 3/8 inch ribbon. Then I just went ahead and embraced that. Now, if you wanted it to be closer into the middle, I'll show you some options for that in just a second. First of all, let's show you how to do an eyelet. So we'll punch our hole about 1/2 inch in. Now this way I can go wherever I want to, right? It's just the depth from the edge of the punch to the back of the tool is about 1/2 inch. Okay, let's get our eyelet and our washer. So you put the eyelet through the front, and it holds it in there pretty well. It's a snug fit. Then I'll get a washer. Now these washers have a rounded side and they have a concaved side. So you can kind of see the side that looks unfinished. That goes toward your project. The rounded side you want up. So let's get our eyelet that we already put in, and I'm going to put my washer around the back side of the eyelet where it's poking through my project. Now you saw how easily that washer can fall off. So I actually like to hold my tool so that the top of my eyelet is at the bottom. So I flip my tool over. Remember that blue button is for the top. So we put that on the bottom, and then just go ahead and squeeze. And you can see that beautifully set that eyelet. There's the back. So you can see how that washer, the back of the eyelet splays and curls around that washer. So it looks a lot more finished, and it won't get caught on any ribbons or twines as much as when you just do it without. Let's do one without, and I'll show you the difference. We'll use one of these other holes I've already punched. So there's my eyelet. Now this way, I don't necessarily feel like I have to have my eyelet top down to keep my washer from falling off. So I'll punch it this way. Just make sure that that little blue button in there, see that little blue button? That goes on the side that's the top of the eyelet. So you can see it's a little bit messier when you see the splay versus when I use the washer. So that's the difference right there. No washer, washer. You can see why I prefer the washer. It's just such a nice clean finish. Now, if this was going on the back of something and it didn't matter, but you'll notice too that when I use the washer, it also keeps the purity of that oval shape just a little bit more true to an oval. So I would highly recommend using the washers. And all of ours, this is the only place you can get these eyelets that fit our tool, perfectly sized and calibrated to work with the tool itself. It's just that simple. Like, my only tip to you really is explaining that 1/2 inch depth, and that blue button is always the top of the eyelet. But I'll show you some of the things that I've made. So these are those wedding invitations using the gold eyelet. Just a simple way to thread ribbon through, which I love threading the ribbon through these. It's so beautiful. It works just perfectly through there, stays really nice and flat. And it doesn't bunch up like on the round eyelets. I made just a whole bunch of tags with all different types of trim inside. So this one has some sheer fabric that is just torn and threaded through that oval eyelet. This would make such a pretty tag on a gift or on a card even. This one I just folded a strip of paper through it and stapled it. You can see how much wider that is than you would get with a circle eyelet. It just wouldn't fit as much through there. Here's some more tags. This one is just a standard ribbon that I looped through like a normal tag. Some more paper, but this time I tied it in place with some string. You can always use baker's twine. Just made a bunch of little tags. This one was a double-sided paper, so it's kind of fun to get that two-toned look, and I just used a few staples. This is another fun technique. This one I did vertically on my tag. So I did a narrow strip of paper to be a tag and then set my eyelet so it stands vertically on the tag. There's a few more looping string around. They're just so cute, aren't they? I love how they turned out. This one's ribbon that's tied also with string. Let me show you a layout I did that uses these vertical tags. So here's the layout, and I just used them kind of to beef up my ephemera. So here I used one on this actual tag, this Our Story, which is my title, and I put some ribbon through there and a little bit of twine. And then all of these down here I used, instead of just using a plain paper strip, I did those vertical strips but turned them horizontal. Except that one, which is a little different, right? So depending on the way you set them into your paper strips, how they sit in the variety of horizontal and vertical is really fun. So I just did some little paper strips with some simple twine through them to accent my cluster here and become ephemera on my page. Here's another use that was like for a tag. So these are just some little boxes, and you can see how just that elevates it just so much to have that pretty oval shape rather than a circle. I love how they turned out. These are the antique gold, or as they're called when you order them, they're called brass. Here's a couple of cards that I've made. Now this is the trick that I wanted to share of how to get it further in from the edge. Now remember I showed you here it's about 1/2 inch, which is perfect for a tag, honestly. That's the perfect spacing from the top of a tag. These were just little cut apart sheet tags that I used to make all of those little tags. And this is about 1/2 inch in, but you can see these are a lot further in. So what I did was I punched and set an eyelet into this piece of paper that is separate from the base of my card, and then I could move them in and out as far as I wanted. And you can see this is pretty thick ribbon here. This is 1/2 inch ribbon, and though it puckers it slightly, it does look so pretty going through there. So that's my tip to getting it further into it. So punch the tag first, or the little circles, or your main piece of your card or your layout first, and then place it and thread your ribbon through. And that's how you can get around that 1/2 inch limitation. So those were some fun cards that I made. Really, that's about all I have to show you. You can see all of the fun projects that you can make. Remember, you can punch through all sorts of heavy material. You can punch through thin material, and it sets beautifully, just like you expect from your crocodiles. So easy to thread ribbon through it. I think you're really going to love this awesome new crocodile tool. Please make sure to post any questions you have down below and we'll get them answered for you. We would love to see what you are making when you have your oval crocodile in hand. So make sure to tag us on your social media. We would love to see and share what you're making. Thanks so much. Have a good day.